Hey, what's up guys? Savage here with another episode of Clash Royale, and today I'm going to be showing you guys the top strategies to counter bridge spam decks. They're everywhere. I know you know they're everywhere. I've even shown some on my channel recently, like for example this one right here with the Battle Ram, the Bandit, the Night Witch. So I'm going to show you guys how to counter bridge spam decks. Now, before we begin, I want to give a special shout out to today's post notification winner, and it is Legend 11, who must be related somehow to Legend 27, but he says sub put notifications on. This deck is OP for Arena 10. Thanks. That was on yesterday's video with the Hog Rider deck. So thank you so much for having your post notifications on. There's your shout out. If you guys want to get a post notification shout out, all you got to do, make sure you're subscribed to the channel, turn on your post notifications by clicking on the bell button and then commenting down below when you're done, and you can get a post notification shout out in a future video. All right guys, so special shout out real quick to Crispy Kreme for helping me out with this video. He is in my clan, especially because we recorded this once before and for some reason the recording was corrupt. RIP technology down below in the comments, but here we go. What I'm gonna do is we're gonna showcase actually 4 of the top bridge spam cards. Now there might be more that you would consider bridge spam, but I wanted to focus on these 4 specifically because they're running rampant right now. Number 1 is the Battle Ram. So I have 5 things actually that I wrote down that are really good counters. Now the reason I give multiple options to counter is because sometimes depending on your play style and the type of decks you like to play, you might not have a certain card that's on this list. So I'm gonna give you guys a couple of options that I think are the best counters for these cards. So Battle Ram, number 1. All right, so this is a great counter for the Battle Ram and one of my favorites, and that is the Bandit. If you place her in the middle right here, parallel to your tower, she will charge and take out the Battle Ram before it gets a hit off on your tower. Now I have seen people play against me and use the Bandit and put him right here, or put her, I should say, right here in front of your tower. Now, what's gonna happen is if you put her right there, the Battle Ram will still charge and hit your tower because the Bandit will not charge and take out the Battle Ram. You have to make sure that you play the Bandit in the middle in order for her to have enough space to charge and take out the Battle Ram. All right, option number 2 is a pretty well-known one, and that is the Skeletons. If you drop them right in the middle, in the path between the tower and the Battle Ram, it will take it out again just slightly before the Battle Ram connects. Now the only thing is that the barbs will continue on and get some damage on your tower, but at least you won't get that Battle Ram charge. Now this is an option, I did want to show it. It is a positive trade. However, you do run the risk of a log or a zap. So an even better option than that I actually like a lot better is the bats. Now they can zap it, but most of the time when someone plays bridge spam, they'll use a log to try and get rid of any type of swarmy units like skeletons or goblin gang. But if you use bats, obviously the log is not gonna hit it. So let's show bats right here how it'll work. You're gonna place it same position as the skeletons, right here in between the two, and the bats will actually take it out 100% before it gets to the tower, and then they will continue on to take out the barbs. Now again, you will get some damage, however you will not get the connection, the charged connection from the Battle Ram. So bats, one of my favorite counters, and obviously it's a positive trade. All right, next one is going to be guards. Guys, if you don't use guards at all, guards are such a good card right now in the meta. If someone logs them, they're gonna stay alive. But you can see right here, they're gonna shut down the Battle Ram and then continue on to take out the barbs for 0 damage on your tower. Also a positive elixir trade. So I would definitely recommend guards because guards are gonna counter a lot of the cards that we're gonna talk about today. And they're definitely seeing more light recently in the meta. You did see in the P.E.K.K.A deck that I made recently with the 75% win rate, also featured the guards. So definitely a very versatile and strong card. Now I will showcase this next card as a counter, even though a lot of people do know it. If you played in the Battle Ram challenge, people were using Ewiz because it 100% countered the Battle Ram. Ewiz 100% counters it, so I will showcase that one real quick just to remind you, in case you didn't know, how to stop the Battle Ram with the Ewiz. So we will drop it right here, use that stunning effect to take it out, and then he will continue on and take out the barbs and get no damage on the tower. All right, so top cards, just as a quick review to counter Battle Ram. Bandit, that's one of my favorites. Place it right here in the middle. She'll charge, take it out. Number 2, 1 Elixir Skeletons. I wouldn't usually recommend this, but if this is one of the only cards out of this list that you have in your deck, you can use it. You just run the risk of it being zapped. Number 3 is the bats. Place it similar position as the skeletons and it will take it out. They can't be logged. They can be zapped, but for the most part, people log to try and get their Battle Rams to the tower. And then guards, super strong counter. Guards are a great counter for the Battle Ram and you will get get no damage on your tower, and that's the goal, right? All right, number 2 is gonna be the Bandit. So I'm gonna show you a couple of different options here. First one is going to be Goblin. I would place them in the middle right here. Now the reason most of the time you'll see me place cards in the middle to counter is, again, log. There's 2 things that you do by placing them in the middle. Number 1, most of the time you'll avoid a log because people will place the log right at the bridge in hopes of pushing their troops through and getting rid of anything that you drop. But number 2, if they do predictive log in the middle as they see that you're placing troops in the middle, you will eliminate their ability to get a value log, meaning they're gonna log and hit your troops in the middle, but they won't be able to connect with your tower if you place them in the middle correctly. All right, option number 2 for Bandit is gonna be guards. So we'll get another one going here. Now with the guards, same thing, place them right here in the middle. Wait till she crosses the bridge. She will take out the first guard with the charge, the shield from the guard, but you're gonna end up with 2 guards. Both of them still have their shield, so you can build this into a counter push, and it is an equal trade. So perfect counter again. Guards, guys. Guards, 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 guards. Third and final option is going to be the Knight. A lot of people use Knight. Again, we're gonna place him right here in the middle. Now he can't be logged, but again, you don't wanna give someone the option to get a value log and hit the tower as well as the Knight. If they're a pro player, they might still be able to snipe both the troop and the tower, but odds are you're gonna negate damage from the log with that. So just as a recap for Bandit, guards, Goblin, Knight, those would be my top 3 choices to counter them. All right, next one, guys, E-Barbs. Everyone hates the E-Barbs. I'm gonna show you a couple of options right here. If you place the battle ram next to your tower right here, you don't want to place it too far forward, but if you place it directly right there, the E-Barbs will take it out, releasing those barbs, and the barbs will go ahead and do damage. Now you will get damage on your tower, but 2 swings from an E-Barb is a lot better than 2 E-Barbs on your tower, taking them all the way out. So if that's your option, it's not the most ideal, but it is a valuable option. If you're running a deck that has battle ram, you can counter E-Barbs, knowing that you're gonna take little to no damage on your tower. Next option is going to be the Knight. So Knight is actually a really, really good counter. Now, they will still get damage on your tower, but if you use the Knight, he will take out the first one and take the second one down to the point where I think they'll only get the 2 shots as well on the tower. So Battle Ram and Knight will basically equals 2 shots on your tower, but both options are a positive elixir trade, Knight being a positive elixir trade of 3. A couple of other counters that I'm not gonna show but are just equally valuable is Lightning. Lightning is a direct counter for the E-Barbs. Just make sure you don't place the lightning directly on the bridge. If you do, then they'll probably outrun your lightning. Make sure that you place the lightning closer down to your tower, so that way the E-Barbs are running into it, since there is obviously a slight delay between when you drop the spell and when the lightning actually ticks. So lightning is a good counter. Also bowler, if you see yesterday's video, the Hog Rider deck that I made, features the bowler. It's a great control deck, so definitely check that video out. But the bowlers, again, great counter for the E-Barbs, so you can run the bowler as well. All right, guys, final one I'm gonna showcase today, and that is the Prince. And that is going to be obviously another bridge spam unit. It's something that you wanna make sure that you can counter, and you wanna make sure, the whole purpose of this is making sure that you can counter effectively without throwing a bunch of stuff, unsure of how the interactions will take place, and spending way more elixir than what you need. And taking your focus off the point of the battle, and that is to figure out how you're gonna also do damage on your opponent's tower. So first option is the Battle Ram. Now Battle Ram, again, is a great defense to offense card. If I drop the Battle Ram again right here next to my tower, the Prince will charge, get the shot off on the Battle Ram, take it out with the charge shot plus 1 shot, and then you'll see the barbs right here completely shut down the Prince and get no damage on the tower. So that's a great option in the Battle Ram. Now option number 2 would be the Tombstone. Now Tombstone placement, I would place it right in the middle right here, similar to where you would want to place to pull a Hog Rider, and you'll see the Prince charges right there, hits a skeleton. Now the skeletons pop out and he gets no shots on the tower, and that is a positive trade. Now the thing you do run the risk of is log and zap. So if they do use a log or a zap, you can simply just deploy another troop because they invested additional elixir, which makes it okay for you to invest additional elixir. Third option is guards. Again, you might be seeing a little bit of a consistency here, but I'm gonna drop the guards right here, and you'll see the Prince takes out the shield on the one, takes out the second one. It takes 6 shots for the Prince to shut down the guards, and unfortunately he only gets off 4 shots. So you'll see right there the guards shut it down 100%. Again, for a positive elixir trade, guards will counter pretty much all bridge spam for positive trades and for no tower damage, so I highly recommend guards if you see a lot of bridge spam. And finally, guys, for all of this bridge spam, including Night Witch and everything else that's running out there, clone, whatever, all these things you got, my 2 most recommended spells to run right now in the current meta is Poison and Log. If you have Poison and Log, you should be set on top of these cards that I just showcased to you in how to counter the bridge spam units themselves. But poison is great against Night Witch, especially if people are going to partner it with clone. But poison is great with that. Log is great. If you don't have log, you can use zap. Log is a preferred method to keep stuff in the poison longer, but if you don't, I would use zap if you don't have log. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. We'll do a quick recap. All right, so as a quick recap, guys, these are the cards you're gonna need. Now, again, the reason why I gave multiple cards is because your decks that you use, there's certain cards that are in your deck, or you have a certain type of play style with cards that you like to use. So each of the cards that I recommended in this video might not fit into your playstyle, but there should be some from the list of each one that do fit into your type of playstyle or the decks that you like to play. So again, as a quick recap, Battle Ram, Bandit, one of my favorite counters. Bats, one of my favorite counters. 1 Elixir Skeletons you can use, but you do run the risk of a log or a zap taking them out. Guards, again, great counter and a positive trade, as well as the Ewas. Now for the Bandit, again, guards, perfect counter for that. Goblins, perfect counter for the Bandit. And Knight, perfect counter for the Bandit. All 3 of which you get no damage on your tower, and it's either a positive elixir trade or an equal trade. Moving on to the E-Barbs, Knight, pretty good counter. They will still get 2 shots on your tower. Battle Ram, pretty good counter. Bowler is a great counter. If you use the Bowler, just make sure that you place the Bowler in front of your tower, not in the middle. The reason why you want to do that is if you place it in the middle, most of the time the Bowler will bowl at the E-Barbs and push the E-Barbs far enough away to where they're just gonna target onto your tower instead of running towards the Bowler. So if you're gonna use the Bowler as a counter, it is a great counter. Just place it in front of the tower. And Lightning. Same thing with Lightning. Make sure you don't place it directly where the troops are, the E-Barbs are when they drop them. Place it closer to your tower so you're leading the troops into the Lightning, so that way the E-Barbs don't run out of the side of the circle of the Lightning and you get Lightning on nothing. And lastly, guys, the Prince. If you see a lot of Princes, or if you're starting to see a lot of Princes, great counters for that. Battle Ram, no damage on the tower. Tombstone, no damage on the tower. Guards, no damage on the tower. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Those are the quick tips that I have for you guys on bridge spam, since it is all over the place right now. Guards are huge, guys. I would definitely recommend guards, poison, log. Those are my top counters for most of the stuff that's in here. Knight is great. Battle Ram is great on defense to offense, it pushes as well. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you leave a like. If there's any other cards that you would like to see a tutorial on how to counter, make sure you comment down below and I'll do my best to address those as well if it becomes a major problem in the meta. So again, hopefully you guys enjoyed. I'll see you in the next one. And as always, stay savage.